What's up, everybody? This is Dante Lewis with Finesse Inferno Basketball Trading, and today we're going to teach you how to have a better first step to the basket and get by any defender with ease. Okay, so one of the first things you have to understand to blow by any defender that you want is to have an on-balance stance. One of the stances that you're really going to use most of the time is called a staggered stance, which is when your front foot is going to be pointing straight and your back foot's going to be pointing 45-degree angle to the side. You want to have your hips down, you want to have your feet wide. Meaning wide does not mean long. When the long, if you're here, you're going to be off balance, and you do not want to be in this situation because if you're off balance, you will not have enough power to explode by your defender to get to the rim. So if I'm here and I'm going, and Walter's gonna nudge me just a little bit to the side, and if I'm in this stance, this will give me a good decision and guide about how wide my feet should get. So if he hits me and knocks me to the side, now my feet are gonna be non-balanced naturally. This is the stance and how wide I want my feet to be when I'm trying to explode by or shift by any defender that I want to. So if Walter's in front of me here, I'm gonna keep my feet wide. The reason why I wanna keep my feet wide is if I would have balance, I can get around my defender a lot easier. So if I'm here and I go and I shift and I keep my feet as wide as I can now have the power to explode to the basket off my front foot, my back. The next thing we wanna have is a good solid trigger foot. A trigger foot is just your back foot being active and loaded so you can take off and explode by your defender anytime you want to. So if I'm even on a live dribble, I want my back foot to be triggered and active. I don't want it to be too far off the ground where I have no pop and power, but I don't want my heel to be on the ground where I don't have no activation to push off and explode by my defender. So if I'm going, I want my foot to be triggered. The other reason why I have my foot to be triggered is so I can fake and act like I'm still gonna take off from this position. So if I'm here, my foot is back and my foot is triggering, it makes my defender think I'm gonna take off and explode. So if I'm here, I think about shift, I think about dropping my body, I think about having all the weight on my back foot so then I use my first step to explode by my defender to the basket. So the next thing you want to do about having a quick and explosive first step to get by your defender is you want to have your shoulders down and you want to have your hand connected to your body and high. So when I'm driving to the basket from this position, some habits that players have is when they're attacking the basket, when they go, they bring their shoulders back and high. So if I'm in this position and Walter tries, or my defender tries to cut me off to the basket and I go, if my shoulders are back, I'm gonna be pushed in this position and go backwards away from the basket. So but if I keep my shoulders down and low, I'm in a position to stay on balance and still keep my angle to the rim so I can drive in a straight line. The other thing I want to do is I want to keep my hand high. So if I'm like this and I go and I take off and I have my hands down and I'm in this position, now my shoulder is pinned, my arm is pinned, my body is pinned, so I can't fully get around my defender and tack him super quick. So if I'm going, I want to have my hand tucked in, I want to have my hand high, and I want to have my shoulders down so I can explode by the defender. And I'm going to show you this one clip right now how it would work. Okay, the fourth thing that we need to do is win the hand battle. What I mean by the hand battle is we don't want, and we talked about this earlier, is keeping our hand pinned to our body, but we want to swipe or swipe up from our defender when we are attacking. So if my defender's in a defensive stance right now and his hands are out, we want to attack palms and hands. So what I mean by that is if his hands are here and my hand, I see his hand, I'm going to try to take this part off of his body and keep my shoulders and pinned to him so I can keep my straight line to the basket. So if I'm here, we can use a hand swipe, we can swipe up, we can swipe down. So if I'm going like this, I'm gonna attack, I'm gonna keep my arm pinned, I'm gonna use my first step to get by my defender, and then when I go, I keep my arm pinned and go. Some mistakes that players will have is they'll try to reach early for the hand, which either is called a foul, or they're gonna push their positioning off balance as they go. So I want to use my first step to keep my arm pinned and high. If I keep my arm pinned and high and I win the battle, I can use that to explode to the basket. If I don't do that though, and I lose the battle and my arm gets pinned under, I want my hand to go back and high and then stay connected to my body so I still have a gap and a space to get to the rim quickly. So now what we're going to talk about is what to do if you still continue to lose the hand war and hand battle as you're pursuing your drive. So if I'm going and I'm attacking the basket from here and I go, and say I do swipe and I get to here and I try to swipe, if my hand stays back, in this position and he still stays attached to me, I'm gonna still get pushed out to the basket and I'm still gonna be. So I have to keep my hand pinned and high still. So when I'm going, I'm gonna keep this hand swiping, and if he still gets attached, I'm gonna keep it pinned, and I'm gonna keep my hand almost dog paddling to get past him every single time. Even if it's here in my hand, I lose the battle, my hand's low. I'm still gonna keep swiping high, and I'm gonna keep my hand moving to attack the basket quickly. I just wanna have an active hand the whole time when I'm attacking the basket. What's going on, guys? And remember, if you want to explode by any defender and attack the basket freely, you need to keep your shoulders down, explode off your back foot, and keep your offhand high. If you like that video, like, share, subscribe. We got more videos coming for you in the future.